Embrace your curves, love every part. Big thighs, big heart. Stand tall, shine bright. You're a star on the night. Big thighs matter, don't you see? Beauty in all shapes, that's the key. Confidence in every stride. Big thighs matter, let your light shine. Stretch marks, beauty lines. Each one tells a story so divine. Embrace your body, love your skin. In a world of standards, let self-love win. Big thighs matter, don't you see? Beauty in all shapes, that's the key.
Okay, I am here with Sam Paige.
Yep.
So definitely Sam Paige. So I want to give you guys a quick background on how I met Sam Paige, aka Pink Barbie. For me, I met Sam at last year at Swim Week down in Miami Swim Week. And so we didn't per se meet. I saw her. I was with Flying Solo Productions and we was doing Swim Week down there, and I saw her. Her presence is so, like, you have to stop and stare. And she had on this outfit that lets you know she was unapologetic about who she was, how she's shaped, and if you don't like it, it's your problem, not hers. And it was pink. It was really Barbie pink. So I was fitting some models, and I was having challenges with the production company of finding actually fit girls. So I was like, y'all need to get me some bigger girls in here. This is not working for me. And so we were working things out. And then here comes Sam. And I said, I want her. Who is that? I want her. I need to get to know her. I want to deal with her. And so Sam at the time was walking for another designer, and she was like, I'll do it. But I was like, I don't want to poach or do anything to distract you from what you're doing. But I said, there's going to be another time and another place that you and I will work together. So we fast forward to Fashion Week of this year and 2024. And so I am again doing Fashion Week. And I was like, okay, I got to have Sam. I have to have Sam. So I reached out to Sam and said, hey, you want to come? I knew she was probably going to be in New York anyway, but definitely, hey, meet me in New York. Let's do this and walk for me for this show. So what's so awesome is Sam came in real quick on some real, okay, what am I wearing? And I honestly did not have a full out outfit pick for Sam. I just had this logo, Thick Thighs Matter, on a tank top, and she wore it with some little shorts, and that was it. It was really nothing else to be said. And if you could have saw the reaction when she stepped out, in that Thick Thighs Matter tank top and them little shorts, and it was over. You can see the reactions on people because we was with the production company that majors in standard sizes. Great place,
for
great
sure.
company. They're great. I'll never take anything from them. They were a great production company to me, and I'm grateful for the opportunities they always provided for me. But they majored in standard sizes.
Which a lot do.
But my goal was to step in there with all the girls that were thick. I was trying to bring all the milkshake. I was trying to bring everything. And so I had to have Sam there amongst other ladies that I had, but Sam, I just had to have her there. And so when she stepped on the scene with that tank top on, it's like she took the air. She took the air out of the room because she walked in and it was like, okay. It was a pause. And so what's so awesome about that is that walk, that look garnered I think we're at 1.1, 1.2 million views on social media just by simply wearing Thick Thighs Matter. So I thank you for being a part of that. It was so fun, and it was very interesting to see everybody's reaction to that. And I just want to get with you and say, number one, where are you from?
So I live in South Florida currently. I'm from Connecticut, but I've lived here for about 7 years now, 6, 7 years. And yeah,
what has brought you into, how did you become this Sam? How did you end up coming into modeling and content creation?
So during COVID, I just jumped on TikTok like a lot of people, and I have a dance background. I danced for 15 years growing up, like in a studio, and then I went to college and I stopped dancing in college. And during COVID, there was just like TikTok dancing was like very popular, and I hopped on pretty early, not thinking anything about it, not thinking that there was really a space for a plus size dancer. Like, didn't think anyone was going to care, but it was just fun. And I learned very quickly. My third video got like 45,000 views. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then in a month, I had a video hit 1 million views. And then I had a video hit 56 million views. Excuse me. And then I had 1 million followers in the first 6 months on TikTok, and 100,000 on Instagram, and kind of just grew from there. Then by the time COVID was basically over, I had about 2 million followers on TikTok and about 200K on Instagram. And I started modeling after that, being reached out by brands. The first brand to reach out to me was actually Boohoo. So
Okay.
a really big brand. Yeah, I walked for their Miami Swim Week in 2021 at the Versace Mansion. So a really, really sick opportunity. And then I was like, okay, that was so much fun. I think I want to do that more. And then smaller brands have reached out. I started doing some e-com, and just really whoever wants me for what, I take every opportunity that someone wants to present to me. As like, I'm very fortunate. I didn't think that this was going to be a job, or, really how I could. The best part is really inspiring people and trying to raise more representation. I think that the lack of representation is still very strong, and like, you don't see a plus size model unless it's a plus size specific thing. And that's really disheartening to see. So anytime anyone wants me, I'm down.
How have you been able to navigate? How have you been able to navigate that as a plus size model? Do you consider yourself, being that the way that you came into the industry? Let me ask you, do you consider yourself a model like the other models, or do you consider yourself just a content creator that models on the side, or what do you consider yourself?
I definitely think that modeling doesn't really pay the bills as well as a like content creator influencer does. It's not as consistent for me personally as an unsigned model. I think that I get to model because I was an influencer first. So I definitely think that like, but everyone, people always ask me why I downplay modeling, because at this point I've walked in like 30 shows. I've modeled for, big brands for sure, but I definitely feel like I'm more influencer than model.
Dishwasher.
Yeah.
So with that, my next question would definitely have to go into being an influencer and
Yeah.
how you are able to take going from TikTok, going from social media, and managing to leverage that to being a model and an influencer. Um,
Yeah.
and actually carving out a life for yourself. Like, do you
Mhm.
work or do anything else outside of modeling and content creation?
Currently, no, I haven't since I started. Luckily, I've been able to just do this full time and haven't had to get a job. Times are changing though. This past year, 2024 has definitely been the most difficult year to make a living out of it consistently. I
Mhm.
think that in 2024, there's a lot of people who just want to be influencers and are willing to do work for free or cheaper. So
Wow.
it's made it really difficult for people who have like made a following and have a following. Like, they would rather get 6 people to do it for free that have all together, all 6 make up the same following that I have. So it's difficult. It's been difficult. I've been thinking about, pivoting, maybe getting a different type of job. I'm not sure yet, but um I always, as a model, as an influencer, then a model, I definitely cast more for people who want me as the brand. Like,
Right.
for instance, how we met, you didn't know me from social media. You saw me and was like, I want you
Yeah.
for my body shape or whatever. But I tend to get casted more as Sam Paige. Like,
Okay.
they see me online, they know they've either worked with me as a brand. So the brand that I was walking for at Flying Solo the first time we met, we had worked together previously, and when they were casting for their show, they they had they were doing a collab with another influencer, and they were like, "Oh, well, you could pick all your girls, but like we want Sam. Like we've worked with Sam
Right.
first." So, and I actually ended up knowing all the girls anyways that they had picked. So,
Right.
it wasn't like I didn't know who they were, but yeah. So, a lot of the times it'll be a brand reaching out to work with me specifically over me like showing up for a casting. This past year though at Swim Week, I went to castings and actually booked, without them knowing who I was, which honestly, it feels like I earned the spot a little bit
Right.
more.
Right.
But like, I can't help that I have a following. Like, it's only going to help your brand when I, post or whatever. So I don't know. There's not a lot of girls going out to these castings anyways. So that are plus size. So it's nice that there are brands that want plus size girls at this point.
Now, I was going to ask you in reference to being in the industry as a plus size model and influencer. And so I've seen a lot of your content. I watch a lot of your content, and you have a lot of positive comments. And Sam, you have a lot of negative comments. Like
Yeah.
people can be very just visceral. Like why are you even saying if you don't
Yeah.
like what you see, go somewhere else with it. But
For
they're
sure.
really commenting on everything.
And they
And
get like very specific.
they get to the eaches. they get they get to the eaches with it. And I'm like, okay, so how do you manage that? Because you get millions and millions of views, and you have
Yeah.
hundreds and thousands of comments. And out of hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of comments, maybe about 30% of them are just not something that
Yeah.
I would say to a person. Even if I felt like that, I wouldn't say it. But these people feel the need to just tell you how they feel, regardless. How do you
Honestly, on TikTok, it used to be way worse. I feel like the views that I get on TikTok now are nowhere close to what I used to get. And I used to say that the hate always helps. It always gains more views. It always like it's really just helping me. My most viral video that is WAP, that song
yeah.
from Cardi B. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's the one that has like 54 million views or something like that. And 30,000 of them are calling me a beached whale. 30,000. There's 90,000 comments on. So I would agree with you about one third of them are always pretty negative when they go pretty viral like that for sure. But I mean, at first, I have really thick skin. I grew up big. I've always been big my whole life. Like it just wasn't something that really bothered me. Like the word fat doesn't bother me anymore. It's like it's when you're like comparing me to an animal like or when you're getting very specific on
Yeah,
things where I'm like,
yeah.
okay, y'all just need to like why did you waste 20 minutes of your life like commenting that, That that is like it just feels more personal than like a whale emoji or like
Oh God,
whatever.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I mean it doesn't really bother me anymore. And honestly, the hate always helps since I've built such like a strong I don't want to say fan base, but like strong followers that
I mean,
will
that would be
always
true.
defend me.
You do have, that's very true fact. You do have a strong fan base because the comments will come, but then you'll have somebody like, hey, you better get off her, or don't say that about
Yeah.
her. She's beautiful. She's this. I love you.
Yeah.
Thank you for inspiring and motivating me.
Yeah.
And then the people, they just keep going back and forth. It's literally sometimes there's arguments on
Yeah.
under your videos and pictures. And I'm like, well, good grief. But
For sure.
it's good to see that you have it's more positive than negative. It's good to see
Yeah.
that. But then also as a content creator, and I consider you like a new way of content creating, because you had at one point you had content creators they weren't models, they just content create. And then some were specific. I'm a plus size content creator, a plus size influencer. You go where you go.
Oh,
You've done Southwest,
yeah.
you do restaurants, you do
Yeah.
everything. There's no stop. You do. And I'm like, okay, is she content creating for this person? You at one point you had like two or three different brands in one video one time. And I was like, okay, who is this for?
Yeah.
But it was a great video. I'm just more or less like saying this is the new way of being a content
I
creator.
just think that like I'm a fat girl. Yes, I'm plus size and that makes me special, but it also doesn't make me special. Like I'm just a girl living life, doing everything that everyone else does, and I'm just fatter than other people. Like I don't think being fat should stop you from doing anything. I think that like you should be able to travel, you should go to restaurants, like you're eating, like I don't people who are like scared to eat as a plus size person, it's like you're doing it anyways. Like I don't know, I just think that like I just want to like live life as a bigger person, and I luckily get to share that with the people on the internet. I think that you're right that a lot of times it's like very center focused on the
Right,
fact that they're plus size,
right.
where I'm like that's just something that's an adjective to describe me. It doesn't make me. All my content doesn't revolve around me being plus size. I just am.
You just happen to be, I'm a girl living in this world and I just so happen to be plus. I just so happen to
Yes.
be a thick girl. But me
Yeah.
living and going to different places, like you did great when you went to Paris. I love the videos when you went to Paris.
Thank
It was
you.
absolutely beautiful. And that's another thing I wanted to ask you about as far as you've been traveling a lot of different places.
Hmm.
And I want to ask you, what is your how do people receive you in
Hmm.
America and how do people receive you outside of America? What is the difference?
I think in America, my only issues are like clubs and sometimes like restaurants when I'm just telling them I'm an influencer, they're like, what? Like they don't get it. Like that's a big thing as a like a plus size creator. Like when I go to restaurants or I go to hotels, like people are confused that I'm the creator that's like partnering with them. It's a very common thing that I have run into. Just because they don't expect a plus size person to be the person that's representing or coming in to like make videos.
Okay.
But I would say traveling, Asia is definitely the place where like I get the most stares.
Oh, wow.
I went to Thailand and it wasn't actually like the Thai people. It was a lot of like other cultures in Asia that were like staring, taking photos, like that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And I dress just like I dress here. Like I'm not gonna like not unless it's like we're at a temple or like, where
Sure.
it's like appropriate. I'm still gonna go out and wear like a crop top if like if that's like the normal that everyone else is wearing. I'm
Right.
but yeah, the other country like Colombia, I would in a positive way stop and turn heads. Like every single person there stopped to look at me. Like groups of people would stop and look at me walk by and talk amongst themselves about, I don't know if it's because I'm a thick white girl in that situation where people are like, whoa, and I'm tall too. So
Yeah.
that also catches a lot of people's eye. So in Colombia, it was like a positive thing where I was like, okay, like we're good. Like we get it.
Right.
Like they think I'm very beautiful and I'm very like I was very like happy that it was like a positive thing there. Whereas like in some of the Asia, it was like, whoa, like that girl, like she looks so different. So those were like the two drastic sides of it.
Right.
Um,
What
I had a
company,
really interesting
what country would you say that has been the most receptive outside of the United States?
uh probably Colombia. I think Colombia, they like my body type there.
Okay.
It was just talked about a lot. That was the negative, was that it was like it wasn't that I couldn't like walk on the street without people stopping and talking positively about me. But it was just like intense. Yeah.
Wow, you was a superstar.
Yeah. A little bit, a little bit.
Well, what's next
Yeah.
for you, Sam? What is next for you as far as I know you were saying that when in content creation this year was probably a harder than others because people would
Yes.
rather not pay. They'd rather get somebody else than to
Yeah.
pay for what you bring to the table, which is visibility. You bring a lot of visibility to
Yeah.
the table and they don't want to pay the visibility. So what's next for you in content creation and fashion
No.
and
I still think I'm going to New York Fashion Week in September, so that's
Cool.
still
Cool.
still going. Hopefully walk for a few more brands. I'd be really happy with that. I have probably about two. We're still like a month and a half out of that,
Sure.
so there's still some times to connect to some brands. I just did a music video for a Latin artist on Sunday, which was really
Oh,
sick. I was like a human sculpture. I had body paint. I was literally naked besides like some flowers,
oh,
and
wow.
yeah, it was really cool. We were painted
Are you
hot
able to
pink. I'm
name the
still
artists? Are you able to name the artist yet, or we have to wait for that?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so yet.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not a huge artist, but pretty popular in South Florida. And I mean, I'm hoping it does well for him. It'd be cool. But it was really sick. I was like the literally like the middle statue of these other women, and it was cool that they
Cool.
wanted to represent different body types. And yeah. Um but as far as content creating, I'm just kind of like take in things as they come. I don't currently have management, which is definitely not helping me. So I don't know. I don't know what's next.
Are you looking for
Hopefully,
management? Are you interested in management? Are you looking for management?
I think that like especially the last few people that I've worked with, they think that oh, she has a lot of followers, like this should be easy, and they've been shown that it's difficult out here as a plus size creator. That there's like a lot more negatives than positives. So,
How so?
I don't know. Yeah. Oh,
How
I just think that like when it comes to gifting, like my old company would be like, "Oh, all of these brands want to gift you stuff." And I'm like, "Great." And then like all of them go to like large. Like, or okay, we want to work with her. They like would expect me to just accept any offer that they take when it's like I have the same following as these other girls that you're offering way more, but because you think that I have less options that I'm going to say yes to you, which is really frustrating because I don't feel that way at all. But yeah,
oh, oh. So outside of the music video, anything else? You going to New York Fashion Week. You have two brands already, and you hopefully we can see you in a lot more.
that'd be great.
Do you ever aspire to do anything other in the plus industry or in content creation outside of what you're doing? Maybe a podcast, maybe media,
I
maybe.
did a podcast. My best friend and I did one last year. We only did one season. It was called Big, Bald, and Beautiful, which talks about me and her. She has alopecia,
Oh wow.
and so she's bald. So we talk about like our lives as different looking people and experiences that we've had, um, shared. So that's definitely out. I'm not sure. But I just started growing on Snapchat, so I'm
Okay.
posting way more often on Snapchat, which is giving like more of a daily look into what I am doing there. Um, but yeah, right now is kind of just like my summer. I'm kind of
Cool.
just chilling. I have a few more music festivals coming up. I'm doing Deep Tropics in August. I'm going to EDC Orlando with a brand for the
Cool.
first time. And I think that I'm also going to Austin City Limits, which is be my first time in Austin.
Oh, Austin,
So
you on a Sixth Street? Going down on Sixth Street to hang out?
I hope I actually want to go to Texas and hang out for a minute.
Texas is
Hopefully
a
end
good
up going to
place.
Houston, yeah, and Dallas. I haven't
E-
been, so
Everything's big in Texas. You'll fit right in. Everything.
I have a pretty big following in Texas.
Yeah,
A lot
they
of
like
my
them big.
I have a lot of TikTok followers in Texas,
Well,
so
that's gonna be so cool
yeah.
for you. Where can we find you at? Where can my followers find you?
On Instagram, it's Sam Paige Pics with an X, and on TikTok, it's Sam Paige with three E's.
Thank you so much, Sam. You are amazing. And
Thank you
I
for having me.
listen. You guys, this is Pink. I call her Pink Barbie. That's always gonna be Pink Barbie when she puts on that pink outfit with the little skirt and the little thing. It she is definitely someone to contend with, not just in the plus industry, just in the industry period. The way she creates her content, the way that she goes hard. I've seen her. She has stuff she sticks to windows, and she doesn't need a whole team. It looks like she has a whole team, but she really doesn't. It's just Literally, it looks like she has a whole team doing this, but she just has a lot of equipment that she uses that's very helpful to her, and she does really great job. So I implore you guys to follow her on her social media handles, and if you see her, if you happen to see her passing, just let her know we saw you. So thank you so much,
Thank you
Sam.
so much.
Listen, you have a great day, and thank you so much.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Beauty in all shapes has a key. Confidence in every stride. Big eyes gotta let your light shine.